Yes, it was from Habu, who said, you guys should definitely get in touch with Zeepla. She's a very wholesome FF streamer. I think she'd probably have some fun insights regarding the games. She's on the EU data center as well. To which I would say, we should totally do stuff like that more.
Yeah.
Totally. And, it's like just seeing even how the guys ran Allcraft got me thinking, like, okay, how could we bring on guests? How could we, like, evolve the show and do things? Yeah. So, not quite there yet, because basically we are living in a realm of chaos right now. But I'd love to do stuff like that, Just slip in DMs and be like, hello there, Mike. Would you like to chat about some things? And, do a thing, yeah, it would be fun. So I would like to do more in the future. Just need to see how it goes. And frankly, if I'm gonna invite on Zeepla, I certainly I do need to be more progressed than I currently am in FF, because I want to be able to properly get into things.
Yeah, well,
for sure.
Let's do it then, Forehead.
Yeah, well, we've got Mythic Saturday, Raid Sunday, Mythic Monday again with the guild.
Mythic every day. That's the future. Just Mythic Plus every day until we bleed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I enjoy it. I certainly do.
A fun one from Technic, who said, the way Jagex has approached OSRS was the most perfect way to regain player trust. What do you think WoW would look like with content polling? That's an interesting thing, because with OSRS, like, I don't know exactly the sorts of things they've added into OSRS, but that's kind of like, it's a more sandboxy game, right? Definitely. OSRS. So it's kind of like, hey, this is a sandbox you're playing in. Do you guys, you guys have your say in how we run this sandbox, how we change things up. I think it's a bit different for a theme park MMO like World of Warcraft. I'd be interested to see how it would go, but I would worry that, you could just get quite easily led astray by polling and stuff like that, where, I just feel like polling could lead you in a whole bunch of whims and stuff of a player base, where really for a theme park MMO, it's like, what is the developer doing? That's the thing that we get. And if they're really good, they'll be surprising us with exciting, novel things that we didn't see coming. And that's like just the most exciting thing as a player of games, to like see what the devs have cooked up. It's something we didn't expect. It's something we didn't know they could do. And wow, it's really cool. So I think a little bit of polling on things that impact UX and the player experience, but in core content, not to say that I'm like super auteur in how I think about it, but it's like, it's the dev's job to get that bit really good and surprise us and excite us and delight us. And I'm not sure polling's the way to do that. Just with OSRS, it's a sandbox. So if we're tweaking the variables of the sandbox, then I think polling makes a good bit more sense.
Yeah, I think there's something else about the difference between the two games that's very important there. And that OSRS is decidedly old school.
Yeah, very much.
It's decidedly complete. And it's like, it's not the child of the developer. It's the child of the developer and the community. Because, they were the ones who petitioned to have it brought back, etc., etc. So I could kind of see polling working for like a Classic Plus situation. But for the actual live game, as it's being developed, I feel like the issues with community should likely be solved by a change of heart of the developer to start paying attention to the community a little bit more. And to kind of bridge that gap in terms of what they're making and why. As opposed to, like, I don't want to say outsourcing it to the community, but I feel there would be a lot of the, like you say, the excitement kind of lost if we know everything that's going to be made and we all have a vote on it. Because
yeah.
As a community, we fight enough about things that we aren't voting over. So, I wouldn't want a vote to come up and go, all right, next expansion, here's a new version of like the Covenant system with a load of changes. Let's have a big discussion and vote on it, everyone. I feel like that would be such a complete mess that it's just, I feel like they would really struggle to get a good signal through the massive amounts of noise from the community.
Yeah, probably.
It's a kind of, it's up to them to make something and think of all the outcomes and how that affects each player and then go for it. I think that's generally more, like you say, their job to do versus the community's.
Yeah. And that's not in a way that's like dismissive, like, oh, it's their job, don't rely on the community. It's like, no, the reason why they're pros at that is because they're pros at that. Like, it should be that when they do that job, they do it better than us.
How is work with Bellular? Louis Miller, you don't want to know. This is, let's call it a...
Hurting the cat?
Let's call it a roller coaster ride. how do I embellish that any further?
Bit of a shit roller coaster. To
So
be honest.
imagine the Dark Moon Fair roller coaster. It's kind of that. It's kind of that. No, it's honestly it's fine.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of like personal bullshit. We've had a bunch of other bullshit. So it's just been like, but I actually feel like we're getting out of it. And, you guys, you'll see like how our video schedule in the main channel is over the next while, where we're just doing way less like here and now gameplay content. We're focusing way more on just the stuff we're more interested in, like a lot of the lore, a lot of the like the backstory, just some cool shit that I think is really entertaining. Especially now that I've seen they've made nukes. The boys have made nukes.
The boys have made.
I think John has done like a little thing with a mana bomb.
Or
Something.
Dear.
I saw they were talking about it in the work Slack, so it's been good fun.
Oh, that's unreasonable. That's unreasonable.